This has been a show maybe unlike any other that we've ever done. The food has been fantastic. I would put it into any classic restaurant anywhere in the world. It has been exceedingly wonderful. And Roberta Wennik from Edmonds is coming up with another one. Roasted vegetables with maple pancetta and cranberries. Cranberries are one of my favorite little berries to use so many ways.
And good for you too.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Yeah.
George, did you know we grow a lot of cranberries here in Washington?
Yes.
Lots and lots of them.
Right down in the southwestern part of the,
Yes.
actually in the western part of the state.
Yeah.
Over by,
So
It's
eat
interesting
local.
actually to see the it's interesting to see the bogs.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like seeing growing it. So would you like to get started
let's
with
get
the
going here, yeah.
pancetta?
You betcha.
Okay, the first thing I suggest is, this is a really great idea to have. There are sheets that you can put on your cutting board, because I'm going to use this cutting board for vegetables, and I don't want to introduce meat and vegetables on the same board. So the
Okay.
nice part about doing this is I can cut the pancetta here, and then lift it, and I've got a clean cutting board.
Yes,
So
it's not
basically you're going to
contaminated.
cut the pancetta into thin strips, like this, okay? And when we get it all done, when you put it in the pot, you'll separate them, because otherwise they're going to become
They
one.
stick together,
Exactly.
exactly. Then you have
so we sort of
blobs.
separate them like so. All right. I've already started some because it does take a little time for you
Sure,
to
to
get that
brown like that.
brown and
Yeah.
let it do it. But in any case, what we can do is to drain that, which we've already
Okay.
cooked, and drain it on paper toweling. And pat it dry. And the
That's a good
idea
idea.
is you want the flavor, you really don't need the fat.
Yep.
Let me smooth this out a bit
Okay?
here.
You know, you could do that on any recipe that calls for bacon, if you think about it.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
most
And
definitely.
cut down on the fat and
In
the
fact,
best
if you
part.
want a really good way to cook bacon is not on the stove, but do it in the microwave and do it on paper toweling,
Lots
and
of
all
paper
that,
towels.
yes, and all that oil goes right down to the bottom and you don't have it. So, all right, so now if we've got this dry enough, we'll stick it into maple syrup.
Oh,
All right,
Okay.
beginning
all
to
right,
work for
so
me
we'll
here.
straight, all right, so far so good?
So far,
So far,
good.
so good.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So we've got that, now we'll move this aside.
Sure.
And if we have a cloth, we can wipe off the knife, or if we have another
do.
knife, I will use it.
Right
Okay.
There we are.
Okay, so now, the one thing nice about this recipe is it's colorful, and you can use any vegetables you want, all right? But we're gonna start with carrots.
Okay.
I'm putting it in this bowl because I'm gonna end up mixing it up with a little bit of olive oil. And cauliflower
Beautiful cauliflower.
florets.
Yeah, beautiful
Okay,
florets.
all right. And broccoli. And one thing, of course, I've got this all cut up already, but anybody who might be using a crown of broccoli might want to know the fact that the very fibrous outside of the broccoli you really don't want. If you cut the end off, and then just stick your knife right
peel
down
that.
in there and peel it off. And you won't have that tough, oh my gosh,
Right.
that's the last thing you're chewing, okay? So what you do is that, and then you discard this.
Okay.
Okay, which we'll put in that.
And in a pinch, if you're really in a hurry to make this, you could zip through the salad bar at the supermarket and get your vegetables already cut up. Take them home.
Great
Put it
idea.
together.
Great idea.
It's a bit
I
more
like that.
expensive, but
It's another
sometimes
reason, folks, to get
you
the
can buy
DVD,
time.
because, you know, that's not in the recipe, but the advice is here,
That-
and you're getting it from, you know, the person who brought you the recipe. That's good advice.
True. Very true. Thank you. Anyway, so a yam. And basically what I do is I just cut that into, maybe about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch slices for the first part. And then I just basically cut these in quarters.
Again, bite-sized pieces.
Bite-sized pieces, exactly. You realize you're wanting the vegetables to be fairly much the same size because
Yeah.
they're going to be in there together in the pot.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and finish.
Want them all to cook at the same rate.
Right. All right. What's nice is it doesn't really matter the exact shape.
Yeah.
All right. Got one more. Did I miss
Missed one.
All right. Now, one thing that I don't think a lot of people end up by visiting in the produce department very much are root vegetables.
Yes.
And that's a crime. You know, this is a parsnip, and a lot of people, parsnips.
Parsnips.
I know.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I get that a lot at school. Parsnips.
Exactly.
First of
And-
all, they'll come in and they'll say, "What is that?" And then I'll say a parsnip, and they'll say, "Ooh."
And you know, it's unfortunate they don't try it. It is really one of the sweetest of
It
the
is,
root
it's
vegetables,
nice.
and it's marvelous when you roast it. So basically, let's peel this thing. And I want to show you an interesting way of cutting it. Gives you different shapes, which is the one thing. If you look at, for example, a carrot, you could cut that straight
Double
across.
way, sure.
But if you caught it on a diagonal, it's so much prettier.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it garnishes itself.
You know, I think that presentation is just as much as the way it tastes.
Doesn't it smell good? It smells great.
It does, doesn't it?
We need that aroma vision thing.
Oh, isn't one of these days. Let us
One of
hope
these
that we're
days.
alive for it. Okay, so we cut the ends off. And what my suggestion is you cut on an angle. That's the
Just
first
like
one.
we did with the
now
rest.
turn it. Cut
Right,
again.
So then you get
Turn
triangular
it.
shapes.
Cut again. And so you get some really nifty shapes. Because now you've got the broccoli that's got some floret on it. The cauliflower's a little bit more dense a flour.
And this is a pretty hardy vegetable here, so by doing it this way, you're getting a lot more surface area, which means it's going to cook
Good point.
and soften up.
Good
I
point.
can't
yeah.
remember a recipe we've had with parsnips.
Me either.
There
Is
you
it-
go. I'm
is
so
it-
glad
is
that I
it so
brought you one.
unusual to use that as a vegetable? I mean,
Because
people-
everybody doesn't spend their
Yes.
time in the using root vegetables.
That's right.
Okay, well, anyway, this is
The
what
root
hands
It's going to be
vegetables,
so
potato.
pretty.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, but,
Okay, what next?
Okay, now we are going to end up by doing, where did my olive oil go?
you
Okay,
go.
here. We're going to drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil. All right. And we're going to salt it a little bit. But remember that pancetta is salty, so
Right.
we can always finish off the salting later. And you know, you can always reseason a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. The next, the herbs. You got to bring out some,
Right.
flavor in this. I'm putting in thyme. The way you do
Fresh
thyme, I love. This is
Me
the
too,
easiest.
yeah.
Okay, you want to do some? All
Sure.
right. We strip.
All this
That's
hard
it.
work going
Do we
on.
need
out
music
there.
for this?
I like that. So you just whoop, like that,
Isn't
and
it
they're
great?
off. Oh, I know it. And the smell. Have a
Yes.
sniff.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Yeah.
just absolutely lovely. Okay, so we'll put that all over that. And then I've got some sage, and that's probably about a tablespoon or so. And then just sort of roll this up and cut up the sage. There's about a teaspoon of this.
Very nice.
Okay. Again. Now, you can use a spoon or you can use your
Use your
hands.
hands.
You want me to use my hands?
No.
Okay.
use
All
whatever you want.
right, all right. Anyway, you could use your hands. It's more fun. But anyway, so you stir this up. You get the oil mixed in, the salt and whatever.
Right.
Okay, and lastly, we're going to put in
Or pancetta and
the
maple
pancetta.
syrup.
Right, and we'll drizzle that on like that.
Here we go.
And let us get all that maple syrup out of there.
Please.
Yeah. Would you like to lick the bowl?
I like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I like that.
And the last thing that we're going to put in are craisins. That's sweetened and dried cranberries.
Cranberries.
So what's nice about this is really you've got everything in this dish. You've got your vegetables in here, you've got your yams in here, so you've got your starch, you've got the flavoring of the bacon and the cranberries. So in a way for holidays, you've got it all in one bowl.
I think cranberries are underused
Me
in
too.
cooking.
They're getting more and more popular.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
finding them
yeah.
in more
Indeed, they
things.
are.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, so we're going to just move it into the dish
Okay.
and hope that nothing falls out.
Got it right. There you go.
Oh, see, yeah, right, there you go.
There you go. I wash my hands between every meal.
And
I
then
really do.
you zap it in an oven, 425 degrees.
Do we need to cover it?
No, actually you don't want
So
to.
you could
really want it to
You
brown.
could assemble this hours ahead.
Most definitely.
Wow.
Great.
So,
Great idea.
for
Anything
holidays,
you
For
can
a
make
holiday,
ahead.
Right.
it's perfect.
Okay?
Okay.
So 425 degree oven, and
Oh, we got one in there.
isn't that miraculous? Okay, all right.
The magic of TV. Now, when it comes out looking that good, though, the magic is just fine, okay?
And when I opened that oven, it was a blast of flavor that came out.
Yeah.
Isn't that gorgeous?
So would you like to taste?
Yes.
You
I
know,
didn't want you to misunderstand me. I want you
But
to...
look at all those colors
I
that
know.
you've got.
This is so beautiful.
And I got one of the cranberries.
Oh, you
If that
got
ever
one.
adds
You
some-
like cranberries.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, and hopefully you got some of the pancetta as well.
Okay, where's my fork? Cranberry. Ooh, I
If all
don't know what I
vegetables-
want all on one fork.
If all,
That's a problem. I know.
It is.
if all
Maybe you should make the
vegetables
pieces
tasted like
smaller.
this, you'd have no trouble telling the kids to eat their vegetables.
You know,
in a
okay,
second, they'd
I
go down.
have somewhat of a non-veggie eater in my family, and he went back for seconds on it. So that says something to me.
You
This
bet.
is delicious.
Well,
It really
I'm
is
glad
delicious.
you enjoyed it.
Please, thank you, Roberta, very, very much for this.
You're welcome.
To have
Appreciate it.
vegetables that go along with what we've had on the show so far and fit in so well, unusual, wonderful. Call us for heaven's sakes and get these recipes. Thank you, my dear.
Get them.
You like it?